Hello, what's up? Uh, Today is Saturday, the 18th of December, 2021. Um, and yeah, how are you? How are you doing? How's your week been? Welcome. If it's your first time, watching my channel, welcome. Haven't got a massive fan base at the moment, but gotta keep going. I enjoy making videos, so I'll keep doing it as long as I enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. And if at any point you have any thoughts or feelings of your own, then put them in the comments or whatever, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But yeah, today I felt very overwhelmed, I think, for a few reasons. But I think, are you feeling overwhelmed at the moment? This kind of the COVID situation is it's very overwhelming, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like, this new variant, and so many people I know have been getting it. Like, there seems to be a lot more cases, and that's quite worrying. Like everywhere I turn, it seems like COVID, 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 COVID. Like as a football fan, like the Premier League, there's games being postponed. Like most games have been postponed this week. Like most clubs now have had some sort of outbreak, and that's quite worrying. I mean, when you hear the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, Antonio Conte, say that he's scared like for his family and stuff, you think, wow, this is quite serious. And there's a lot of uncertainty about all that, about COVID. I think throughout the summer and the early part of autumn, I think I sort of almost forgot about COVID, really. Like, it became very easy. Like, life was pretty much normal, wasn't it? Like, you could go out to places again, gigs were happening, parties, and for me as a student, being on campus again full time, it's wonderful. It's been wonderful. And you kind of think, oh, right, well, we're back to normal. And then suddenly it's like, we get into December and it's like, oh no, COVID is definitely not gone. And and that's quite a lot, isn't it? Like, have you had COVID recently? Have you known anyone who's had COVID? Like, I imagine it's been quite difficult. My last video, I said that, was it my last video? I think it was my last video, that two of my housemates at uni got COVID. They got it at the beginning of last week, and now I think their isolation period's over now. So I think they're all kind of they're going home to their sort of family homes. And like, as far as I'm aware, I haven't had COVID myself, so I've dodged a massive bullet there. Probably thanks to the vaccine, I probably assume. But yeah, like I think that's like kind of, that's a surface layer of a lot of anxiety that you might be having, or worries, or feelings of depression. Feeling like life is being sort of slowly taken away from you again. Like, oh shit, like I was just getting used to being back to normal, and now suddenly I've got the landscape of the world is sort of changing again, it seems. And that's quite a lot, isn't it? Like, I think for me as well, it's been an undercurrent to my mood, kind of this last sort of couple of days. But for me personally, like, I submitted an essay on Thursday, 3,000 word piece, and literally in the 2 days since then, I've just been completely wiped out. Just like, that essay, I didn't even realize, actually. I thought, yeah, it's fine, I'll do it. But actually, it took quite a lot of energy out of me to do it. And I'm feeling the effects of it even now, and I probably will into tomorrow. Like, I gave so much mental energy to this piece of work that I've now just been completely kind of, wiped, like the last couple of days. Just very tired. Like today I slept for ages, got up and felt quite refreshed, quite good this morning. Went for a nice walk, like delivered my Christmas cards or put them in the post, which I'm very excited about. I'm very excited for people to get those. I've sent quite a lot this year. Like I'm someone who never sends Christmas cards. normally I normally just give cards to my immediate family and that's it. I never actually post cards to people. But for some reason this year I felt it was very important for me to do that. I don't know why. I just felt I felt like there's a lot of people in my life that it's like, I need to tell them how I feel about them. And I thought, well, Christmas card is a very good opportunity to do that. So everyone who's about to get cards from me in the post, just get ready for a lot of sentimentality and a lot of love. I'm going to be smothering you with it like you wouldn't believe, but you won't be surprised because it's coming from me. But yeah, like I did that, and then I went for a walk around this, the river that I live near, and that was really nice. I haven't walked around there in quite a while. And then I got back, but then I was just feeling quite anxious, and I've been feeling quite anxious, like I think for a lot of the last couple of days. I've been trying to figure out like why that is. For one thing, I think I've been using technology a bit too much, and I haven't been going outside enough, and I haven't been just completely detached from technology. That's probably been the biggest thing. Like I've been kind of glued to screens for a lot of the last, for this whole term basically, because like I have to do all my assignments on computers, and then I'm also spending my leisure time on computers or screens as well. So it's not ideal. Like that's going to have an effect on my mental health. So I need to find a bit more of a balance with that. The irony, of course, being that I'm using a phone to make this YouTube video. But I feel like this is going to be a meaningful video, so it's important to do still. And I'm enjoying making it currently. And I hope you're enjoying watching and listening. And yeah, like my sort of anxiety came to a head like a couple of hours ago. I just felt completely like stressed and overwhelmed, and I tried calling the university wellbeing team, and I got through to somebody, but then they hung up after about 30 seconds. So I was a bit like, oh, I'll wait to see if they call me back. Maybe it was an accident, but no one called me back. So I thought, well, I'm clearly not meant to speak to these people, which, it's probably quite a negative thing to think, especially in that moment when you've essentially been like kind of rejected or whatever by somebody you've tried to go to for support. But I was just like, yeah, I can't be bothered to go to call them again. I'll just try and deal with this myself. And like since then, I've just been like, I had a nice meal. I cooked a dinner, a very big dinner, and just kind of sitting here digesting that and kind of just chilling. And I definitely feel a bit better, but there's like other things that have happened in my day that I don't really want to go into because like they're quite personal. But yeah, just like realizing things about that and thinking, all right, I can't be doing that anymore. Like that's got to stop. And so, I almost thought, like, do I want to make a video? Like, I don't know what kind of mood I'm going to be in. And I could have made it like a couple of hours ago, but fortunately, I feel like a bit better now. And so I feel like, why not make this video about that, just talking about, I guess anxiety and feeling stressed and overwhelmed, because, as a student, like my life, like, is going to be pretty busy now until I'm done, basically. Like I'm in third year doing a history degree, and I just did an essay, and whilst I'd want to take a bit of time off, I've got another essay due in under a month, 2,500 words. I've got to do a group project in another module, which has been very stressful for me and everyone in my group. So I basically got to like start work on both those things next week. And then I've got another sort of assessment in January after I do those. It's all at the same sort of time. And anyone else who's a student in a similar position will kind of relate and understand that, January is kind of it's a crunch period, shall we say. It's a very intensive, intensively assessed period. And so obviously I'm not going to really get like a massive holiday. Christmas isn't really going to happen in a sense. Like I'm going to take the 3 sort of days off, like 24th, 25th, 26th, just because I know that I'll need it. I just know that I won't be able to work on those days. Like it's not going to happen. But yeah, like I'm going to take this weekend off just to de-stress and just like chill, really just go, fuck, like what's been happening, what's going on in my head and in my heart, listen to what my body is telling me, and just kind of, take it easy. But then I'm literally I'm gonna have to start working again on Monday pretty much, or Tuesday. And that's difficult, And are you in a similar position? If you've got a lot of work at the moment, for your job or, uni or whatever you're doing, are you able to enjoy this Christmas and relax, or have you got a lot on as well? So yeah, like I feel for you, and I'm going through a similar thing myself, basically, is kind of the point. And I hope that your Christmas period is that you at least get to enjoy, a couple of days. Maybe you won't be able to afford actually, having a couple of weeks just completely free and easy. But at least take a day, at least one day. Just take like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy today. I'm going to get drunk or see my friends or family, and try and enjoy it as much as I can. Obviously, COVID permitting, and God willing that you or your loved ones don't get COVID, over this period. I sincerely, hope for that and pray for that, as well, for my own family. But if you end up spending Christmas alone or whatever, and you're just like feeling shit, then just just comment, message me. I'll talk to you. Like, of course I'll do that. Because I'd hate to think of you on your own and suffering, with nobody to talk to, nobody to listen, But I think, the way the world seems to be at the moment is we're in a very unprecedented period. Well, not maybe totally unprecedented, but like for us, for our generation, this is completely unprecedented. Like there hasn't been a pandemic this kind of big and this impactful in generations. So it's completely new for us. Like we obviously know about previous pandemics that you could argue are numerically worse than this, but what good does that do us? Like we didn't experience that. We don't know. That doesn't help us, does it? COVID's been terrible. It's been a really awful thing for people, and it's intensified and revealed social, societal, mental health problems that existed already. There was a mental health pandemic, in full flow before the COVID pandemic, and now it's like it's just turned the dial up on the mental health, and people are suffering in new ways and more ways than they were before, and we need to be there to help each other and to pick each other up when we fall. And I think that's just very important to say, to make sure you're supporting your family at Christmas, like, because chances are there'll be a lot of tension, in your households, because people have been worried about COVID ruining Christmas. Maybe it has been ruined or is being ruined by COVID. Forgive me. So please, be conscientious of that and do your best to make things easy for your families in this time, over this period. Because, I think everyone's a bit overwhelmed at the moment. I think that's just true. Like everyone's just feeling this COVID effect, a lot at the moment. And it's been such a kind of almost a U-turn from where we thought we were not long ago, to suddenly like, okay, there's a new variant. Oh shit. I don't know a lot about this, but like, the Parliament, like the Downing Street sort of controversy, the hypocrisy around government. There's been debates about how different countries around the world are dealing with the pandemic, like vaccine mandates and sort of like strict lockdowns and all this sort of stuff. And like, there's a lot of like tension. There's so much tension around this, and like, COVID has just been so tense and so anxiety inducing. Like, hasn't it just like it's just been awful, and so much has been robbed of us. And I think we're all just so worried that we're going to have like Christmas robbed, again. And, you know, it's like, oh, we just want to fucking break from this. We want to break from all this tension and this anxiety and this depression and this, like, you know, this sickness, you know, the literal sickness of COVID, but also the sickness of our mental health struggles, you know, our mental health conditions. And, you know, I'm just going to say to you, like, I'm sorry that, you know, you've experienced all the difficulties that you've been experiencing. Like, I'm so genuinely sorry. Like, I wish that I could, you know, just take your pain and your suffering completely out of you and just leave you a happy, contented, well person. Like, you don't know how much I actually wish that I could actually do that. You know, and like, if I could take all the pain of the world, you know, into me, and like, that would obviously kill me. But like, I would do that. I honestly think I would, because like, I hate to know that there's so much suffering that other people are experiencing. You know, it really genuinely, you know, it's really genuinely heartbreaking and just kind of you know, it's genuinely just awful to just think about. And that's why I try not to think about it, because like, if I let it, just like a tiny percentage of just my knowledge of the world's suffering come in, like, it's very difficult. But I'm so sorry that you've been struggling, and you know, if it's any consolation, so have I. You know, I've made videos in the last few weeks about struggling with like SAD and, you know, that sort of thing, and going from that, bouncing back and trying, feeling well, but then like being so bogged down in working on this essay that I just completely was ignoring certain things that were really going on underneath, and like, not actively, but like, you know, subconsciously, like, suppressing a lot of feelings that I just wasn't having, and they were coming out in like dream form, and I'd wake up and be like, oh shit, like, I clearly am still feeling that, or I'm not over this, or whatever. And then loads of little things will come forward, and you'll be like, oh shit, like, there can be so much that, you know, you're always having to deal with, and sometimes it just becomes impossible to deal with them, and so you just feel very overwhelmed, and just, you kind of fall apart a bit. I experience that as well. I experience that very regularly, and you know, it's terrible, but we need to help each other and help ourselves as well, you know. And like, I think I'm quite successful at that, but I'm pretty terrible at it as well. Like, my issues really is like not telling other people in my life about how I'm feeling. That's always been a problem that I've had, you know, and that's something that I'm trying to get better at, is like just saying to people, okay, I'm feeling a shit, can I talk to you? You know, giving them the opportunity, because even if they can't or they're not free, at least you know that, rather than just guessing and saying, oh, they don't want to hear about it, or they're not available, you know. It's like, no, tell people. And, you know, but then you also, try and help yourself as much as you can, but like, that only can be so much. Like, that can only do so much for you. That can only carry you so far, because at the end of the day, we need each other. You know, we're social animals by nature, and we need each other. We need community. We need support. And no matter how introverted you think you are, you still need people. You need interaction. Like, that's just a fact. And so, you know, be there for people, and be willing to share your own struggles with people, because you don't know, you know, what good that can be, how good that can be, you know, and it'll help build your relationships as well, you know. But yeah, you know, it's a very overwhelming time at the moment, isn't it? And, you know, feel free to reach out to me if you need to. And, you know, I'm going to try and reach out to people in my life. I have a bit already today, pardon. And, you know, and pray for a release, you know, and try and give yourself a day, you know, every week, that you just rest and you detach from things in your life if you can. You know, because I think that we all need a rest day, you know, every so often. We all need rest, you know, because like, work is very important, and it's necessary, and it's meaningful, But if you overwork yourself, you'll burn out and you'll die. You'll become less, and that's not good. And and other people can help carry the load with you, not for you. They'll carry the load with you, and that's very important as well. Which maybe exposes my own kind of maybe the fallacy of what I said earlier of I wish I could take the pain of the world onto me. I do wish that, but I know it's obviously it's not possible. But ideally, I help people in my life carry their loads with them, not for them, but with them. We share it. We share the burden of life, and that's where beautiful, I think, relationships come from. Is when you meet somebody, somebody who shares you with your burdens and you share them with theirs. And there's a magnificence in that kind of struggle. There's a beauty in that struggle, in that shared struggle. Because if you halve the load, half the weight of a load, obviously it's easier to carry. If you share it amongst 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, it becomes easier for you as an individual, because you have to carry less weight. But yeah, again, these go so fast. I talk for 20 minutes and it's very quick for me. I don't know how it is for you. I just realized that. It was quite funny out of context. It's really quick for me. I don't know how it is for you. Yeah, was that good for you? Was there anything else I could have done differently? Classic post Q&A. How will I like to finish? Again, just my mind. What should I do to conclude this video? I kind of want to play something. I'm just trying to think what could I play you that would be appropriate for this. I'll play a little song I wrote recently. I think it's how would you say? It's only a minute long, I think, or a minute and a half, this song. But I don't know, it's interesting, I think. I don't know really. I think I'm tempted just to leave it as it is, just as a verse and a chorus thing. But yeah, I don't know what it's called really, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Ghost ship sailing in the night through the ashes of a remedy. And I don't know how it is to begin. Please don't tell me now I'm falling for the one. You're testing me. You're testing us. And in the end, I said in the end, where flowers grow and daylight flows away, I think I'll stay. I think I'll stay. I think I'll stay. I think my singing was a bit questionable there, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Should I play something else? I've kind of teased it now, haven't I? What should I play? I could play that. That'd be interesting to play, wouldn't it? Again, I'll try and sing this. My voice is not in the best shape today, but this is something I played for somebody actually recently, and yeah, maybe you'll enjoy it. May God bless you, and thank you for watching, and yeah, I love you all very dearly, and I hope that you have a good evening, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Amen.